Good morning and welcome in. My name is Helen Jennings. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the UK, and on a morning at 9 o'clock, while many of us are still having to stay at home, I'm coming on each morning and we're doing a bit of crafting together. So I can see a few faces start to pop up. So hello Valerie and hello Beryl. Lovely to see you both here. I've got my cup of tea. I've got all my catalogues are all in envelopes. I've just got to address them and get them into the post. It always takes you longer than you think to pack all of those up. They've got little flyers and things in them, and it's, oh, must add that in. So eventually, quite late yesterday evening, I popped the last one into its envelope, and so as I say, I've now just got to label those out and get them sent out to you lovely people that would like one. And if you've not yet flagged up that you would like one, but you would like one, do shout and let me know. I have got some spare. So that's all exciting things about new catalogue. This is where you start getting concerned for my mental health and ask, has she absolutely, completely and utterly lost it? Because I was looking yesterday through the things that are, thinking about the things that are carrying over and the things that we've still got to play with, that we've had to play with before, etc., etc. And this bundle came to mind. So it won't be available as a bundle, but both elements of this will be available in the new catalogue. And yes, it is Christmas. So the Christmas Layers dies and the Itty Bitty Christmas stamp set are both going to be carrying over. Now this Itty Bitty Christmas stamp set is a fabulous stamp set because you've got so many different Christmas greetings on there. And if you didn't have another Christmas sentiment greeting set, you'd be okay. You've got sort of Happy Christmas, lots of love at Christmas, blessed Christmas wishes, celebrate the season's greetings, peace and happiness, thinking of you at Christmas, have a sugar sprinkled season. You've got your to and your from for making your tags. So lots of lovely things on there. Christmas cheer, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So a really, really generic Christmas greetings set. Once you've got that, you probably, I'm sure you'll want another Christmas greeting set, but you're covered. It's a good baseline to go back to so that you know that you've always got something for your Christmas projects. And then we've got these lovely layered dies. And this one is fairly generic, really. It's not really particularly Christmassy. It gives sort of like a flowery almost die cut shape. And I was playing with some die cuts just now and now can't see them. But so this one gives you sort of just almost a starry, flowery shape dies. You've got your snowflake here, and then you've got your bigger snowflakes and bigger flowers. You've got this nice long, well, it's mistletoe, but it could be greenery for anything really. And this little one just here that you can make your little hanging mistletoes from. So really nice, a great stamp set and a great die set. And the other thing that got me thinking as I was thinking about this is that quite a few of our glittery type products have gone from the new catalogue. So we're no longer going to be stocking just glitter. A lot of the glitter card has gone, the glimmer card has gone. So it was about how do we get shimmery stuff, shimmer shine into our projects without those things. And it may be that there'll be new products coming in the new catalogue that we are going to be able to use with those things, but for now we're not going to have them. So I'm just fiddling around. Oh. So I thought we'd have a bit of a play this morning with some of these things and have a little bit of a brainstorm and a think about how we are going to add shimmer and shine to our projects, and that doesn't have to be for Christmas. Shimmer is not just for Christmas. We can add a bit of shimmer and shine to lots of projects. There is going to be some rather beautiful glimmer paper in the new catalogue. It's not going to be the white and the gold and the silver that we have become used to. There is some really wow, amazing, pop in your face glimmer paper that's coming to the new catalogue. Excuse me while I'm just fiddling around in the background. I can't share this catalogue with you, so I can't look at it live. I'm just flicking through just to make sure that something that I think is in there before I make any suggestions about it. Fiddle fiddle. We're still going to have things like embossing powders and embossing pastes. So yes, so I've got a few things in front of me that we can use to add some shimmer and shine. So let's have a little play. Now the first thing I wanted to do, so I'm going to take a bit of shimmery white cardstock, and obviously our shimmery white cardstock, as opposed to the cardstock with glitter on it, the glimmer card. So this is shimmery. The stuff that had glitter on was glimmer. But this is our shimmery white cardstock. And the shimmery white cardstock is the cardstock that you can watercolour and things on because of the texture of the card and the makeup of the card. It will tolerate some water and things. But it also does have a bit of a shimmer on it. But in this light, you obviously often can't pick it up. It tends to be at night or when it hits the light in a particular way. I can just see that now. There's a little bit of a sparkle to the surface of that card. So that card has already got a little bit of a sparkle to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to, and I could do this in one movement, but I've got some bottles made up, so I'm going to do it in two. I'm going to take, in this little bottle here, and this isn't a Stampin' Up bottle, this is one I've had for years. I've got some, and I'm sure this was Pacific Point ink I've put in here, with some rubbing alcohol, and I'm just going to spritz that piece of card with that blue spritz. So we've got some blue colour on there. In this spritzer, I've got some more rubbing alcohol, but in this one I've got some drops of the champagne mist, so the shimmer mist. So what I could do, if I was starting from scratch with these, I could add some shimmer mist and some colour to one bottle in some rubbing alcohol and shake that all up, and I would then have a blue shimmery mist. But because I've got the two separate, I've gone separately, and I will let that dry. And again, I bet you're not going to pick that up on camera, but we now have a real sparkle to that background. So we have a nice blue background that is sparkly. And it is very stinky in here. That is the downside of rubbing alcohol. Now, rubbing alcohol, I tend to get mine from Amazon and things. It comes in a big bottle. It might be a little bit harder to get hold of these days because, of course, once upon a time, nobody wanted it apart from us. But now people have been using it for their own anti-back sprays. This is a 70% isopropyl alcohol solution, which is what I've got in my spritzes, and I've added colour and things too. It does, you can see, I don't think you can see that card is already starting to dry out. It doesn't warp your card quite as much. It dries much quicker because the alcohol in the solution evaporates much quicker than water would evaporate. You don't want 100%, or 70% is about the top level that you want. You don't want it to be any more than that, really. So if you've got an alcohol solution that's more than 70%, you might want to add a bit of water to it just to water it down a little bit. I'm just going to give that a bit of a dry so it dries off a bit more. So I now have a nice spritzed shimmery blue background. As I say, and I bet you can't quite pick that up, but it is, believe me, very shimmery. So our shimmer mists are definitely one way, our shimmer paints are definitely one way that you can add sparkle to your projects. And there's two that we have. I need to get another frost white one. Actually, you've got your frost white and you've got your champagne mist, and they are both rather beautiful. And you can paint with them, daub with them, spritz with them, splatter with them, all of the above, and it just gives you a beautiful shimmery shine when you spritz with them. Right, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this die just here and I'm going to lay that in the middle of that, like that, and then I'm going to bring in my plates for my big shot. I'm going to take my base plate, I'm going to take my thin die adapter away, I'm going to take my base plate, one plastic acrylic plate, and then I want, where has that gone? It was here just now, here it is. Then I want my silicone mat, my silicone craft sheet. I'm going to lay that piece of card on there. So I've taken out the thin die adapter, so it's just the base plate, one acrylic plate, silicone mat, card, die, second acrylic plate. And this will be a question of trial and error and playing around with this until you get the right mixture. I'm going to run that through my machine. And hopefully when I take this off, you're going to see that that die has now embossed into that background. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a piece of, we've had some champagne mist, I'm going to take a piece of champagne foil. I like the champagne foil, that's carrying over as well. It's sort of slightly pinker than silver, but not as gold, if that makes any sense at all. It's a pretty colour. So let's die cut one of these from our champagne foil. We have another bumblebee joined us. We had a bumblebee yesterday, didn't we? I'm going to take this out, but I can see that in the middle there, that's not quite cut. You can always tell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it back in my machine with the card face up like that, and I'm going to run it through once more, and that should just pick up those bits that have been missed. There we are, you can absolutely see the difference on that. That's really picked up and cut all those centre pieces. Let's give that a bit of a batter and pop that out. Run over that with our brush. Wonder why I've got no comments. So Beryl and Valerie, morning Caroline, morning Jackie, Emma, Linda, Jane, Lisa, Karen, Viv. I've knocked my comments off. I thought, oh, nobody's talking this morning. Everybody's quiet. It's because I'm doing Christmas things. They've gone into a state of shock. Oh, come on out. These are really lovely actually. They're an odd shape. You can still stack them up on top of each other so that you're sort of hiding strange bits underneath strange bits, have them tucking out from underneath something. You've got a central panel. This might have benefited from just being run through once more. It's always worth being patient with your sort of running through process, because imagine trying to cut that out with a craft knife. So if you actually have to run it through an extra couple of times just to get it to pop beautifully, it is still much quicker than running it through with a craft knife. Right, so that's the big bits out. Let's just pop out these sort of slightly round locked bits. Come out. Picked up a bit of the back of the foil there. Just get rid of that. I definitely should have just run it through one more time. We've got rid of these little bits, but that's all good. I just want to stay, I don't want to go. Should I stay or should I go? Cue for a song. Talk amongst yourselves. Obviously, had I not been doing this live, these have all popped out first time. Murphy's Law, is it Murphy's Law? There we go. Right, let's get rid of those bits. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to line that the correct way, that way. And I'm actually going to inlay that into that embossed area. So where it's been sort of pressed into the card, I'm going to lay those underneath that die cut into those sort of debossed areas. So let's just find a little bit of glue. Let's bring it back in. And actually what I might do before I do that, just giving this champagne mist a bit of a shake. Let's pick some of that up. Put it on my block. Picking that up from the lid. Putting it on my block and adding a bit of water. So I can then splatter it in the background. And that will add a bit more shimmery shine. And as and when that dries, it will start to dry off. Right, let's take that off of there for a minute. Let's just take our shimmer paint off of there. I do actually, my laptop screen, if you can see my laptop screen, has actually got shimmer paint splatters all over it. Just very pale, just little ones, not big, great big splatters. There's lots of little fine shimmer Shimmer paint splatters. Well, I've obviously decided I'm going to, I don't know, put a bit of card line on it and then I'm going to splatter it like you do. Right, so let's pick these up. And let's get that the right way round. And then we're just going to rest that in that embossed recess that we created. Let's find our big block and give that a press. So it does actually sort of sit into the card rather than, there's a bit of a raise on it, but not as much as you would expect from a die on the top. And the other nice thing is where you've embossed it, these sort of bits have raised up slightly, so they are sort of almost bulging up out of that die, which of course you wouldn't get normally. So you get a little bit more 3D effect with that inlaid image just there. And you can see on the back how the impact that's had. That's really pretty on the back there actually, isn't it? Quite like that sort of sticky out. That would be quite nice. And we could have just coloured over that, just had a sticky out bit. That would have been fun. But we've used the sticky inside. Put a piece of Pacific Point card there. Let's have a little look at our greetings. What shall we have? I quite like the idea of celebrate the season. That's what we will do. I will get a Pacific Point ink pad there to stamp that. Aha, here's a little bit of, so I just need a little bit of shimmery white cardstock. Let's have that one. Can't see my long thin block, so we'll do that one on the diagonal instead for a moment. Oh, I bet I know where it is. And I'm going to stamp that in the middle there. I'm just going to see how wide this is. To trim it down. So that it is measuring half an inch. I'm going to get a bit of Pacific Point card, cut that to measure 3/4 of an inch. And let's find our fancy punch. And I think we'll go the curly side. and the curly side for this one. Oh, what did I do there? That was a little odd. That's better. We'll sit that on there like that. So this is our nice new punch. So there's something a bit new that we've added in. And I think I'm just going to take this little single individual piece of dye that matches those, and we'll just add in a couple of extra little individual ones. So what have we done to add some shimmer and shine to this Christmas card? We've spritzed it. We spritzed it with the blue. We then spritzed it with the shimmer paint. The foil gives a bit of shine to it. Only these 3, I think. Oh, can I have you pack? So last but not least, add in some of these, and these little bits are lovely just for adding a bit to any card, really. Particularly the snowflakes for your Christmas cards are fantastic. And that's popped out nicely. And so it's that one. And that one. Nope, let's not lose that die. Just wondering what I could use if I wanted to add some ribbon into that, and if so, what? I'd have used silver foil, I'd have used the white and silver ribbon, but I haven't. I think we'll leave that for now. Let's put this on here. What I might do actually is add in a bit of white twine in a minute. Morning, Hilary. I didn't check the size on that piece of card, which wasn't sensible. Thought it looked a bit long. Let's give that a press down. very wonky, isn't it? We'll just have to disguise that on the other end with a little patterned piece. This glue is nearly run out. Let's just pick up some glue on there. I actually don't want to do all the sides, just these sides. And we'll stick that on the end of there. I'll bring in some white twine. I think we'll wrap that a couple of times around here. Let's loosely knot that, and then I will finish that up in a minute when we know for definite where this is. So let's put some dimensionals on the end of that. So you can do this sort of inlay technique with any of your dies that are sort of give you an outline. There's a new die coming in the catalogue. I haven't actually got it. It's really floral, lots and lots of flowers in a die. That would look really pretty inlaid. Because contrary to popular belief, I didn't have everything off the pre-order. Most things, not everything. Oh, missed. Missed. I'm doing it on an incredibly funny angle. That's better. And my fingers are sticky, so it's sticking to my fingers. Let's get the scissors and snip that. Then we'll add these in, and we'll have one, I think, coming out of the bottom of that greeting there, and we'll have one at the top here. And of course the other thing that you can add for a bit of shimmer and shine always is a few little rhinestones. White wine? Yeah, no, I don't think so. Not quite this early. Very early for us. No, I'm not going to put them inside, because then that would suggest that they all want them inside, and that would be a lot of rhinestones. There we go. Somewhere I have a piece of thick Whisper White. Let's just trim that down to a standard card base. White twine, definitely white twine, not white wine. We could add in a bit of white wine, why not? For the ladies that are out in Australia, they could crack open, I'm sure it's wine o'clock over there. Not quite here, I don't think. Best stick to the tea here. Right, so that is just some ways that we can add some shimmer, and it's really difficult to pick that up on the video. Sometimes if I shine a bit of artificial light on it, it helps. Let's try one of these. All my lights unplugged. Can we get that to pick up? It is for me here beautifully, but I don't think it will for you. Pick up that shimmer. That's a little hint. But it is really, believe me, very shimmery in the background on that card. And it's the sort of thing that when it's sitting on the mantelpiece, suddenly the light will catch it. And you'll get a real ping of shimmer. So that's one way that we can add some shimmer. And I know that a lot of people are quite concerned about the use of glitter at the moment, about what the environmental impact of glitter is. And although quite a few scientists sort of did look into it, the scientists that I was looking at were sort of saying that the impact is so minimal as to be almost negligible, but they conceded that it made a good sort of headlines in terms of getting the whole question of microplastics and things in the sea into the headlines, although glitter was by no means the major culprit, or even hardly a minor culprit. It was a good vehicle for the campaign. But that isn't using any glitter as in terms of the little bits of plastic at all. It is just shimmer paint, and I would imagine that it's mica flakes that are in the shimmer paint. It does tend to be. So one way of doing a Christmas card and adding a little bit of shimmer. Now, somewhere here's one I prepared earlier, moment. I have already cut the snowflakes, and what I want to do with those is I'm going to cut a little bit more shimmery white cardstock. Again, we'll make it 9.5 by 13.9 because that gives us a nice mat. And this time, let me swing that over, I'm going to use that mat, use that die cut as a stencil. So I'm going to take a balmy blue sponge dauber and some balmy blue ink pad. I'm going to sponge over the top of this piece of card that we have die cut. So again, it's come from that Christmas layers set. Going to carefully come around the edge of here just to blend that in a bit more. Oh, mucky finger mark. we could do is come in again down this side, and if I do that, if I try and get canny enough, I can hopefully where I've got that bit of a blue finger mark. We can just add in some blue down the bottom here. And then we have some sort of swirly snowflakes in that background. We now have a really nice balmy blue. Actually, that's a really pretty colour, isn't it? So that's balmy blue on top of very vanilla. So that's given that a really pretty colour. So we'll have two cards for the price of one there, because we have that balmy blue there as well. In fact, what I might do with that one, let me have a look at okay, so we've got our nice snowflakes in the background there. So I think for that one, we could do with a nice label. Let's have a look at our that one. I think let's find some balmy blue cardstock. Let's look in my bag of oddments, see what we can find. It's die cut. They are very happy, aren't they, this morning? We've had a little bit of rain, so Glenda's saying about the birds in the background. So they do sound very happy and tweety this morning. They all seem very pleased with themselves at the moment. I think people are probably putting out more bird food because they're at home. They're digging their gardens, so they're bringing up some more worms. Obviously, we're sort of springtime here, and we've got nests and chicks and all sorts of things going on. And there's less pollution and all those sorts of things. So I think the birds are generally much happier. They're quite pleased with life at the moment. Let me cut down a mat for the background. That's 14.4. And I've got another buzzy bee in here. So it's sort of like summertime central. Birds tweeting outside, bees buzzing inside. We'll put that there like that. I think I am going to come round, although I might find some ribbon to come round there. We'll find a nice big greeting to go on there, and then I think we want I wonder if I've got enough. I seem to be quite low on silver foil, but I might just have enough. I thought, oh my goodness me, obviously, you know, I'm not geared up for Christmas crafting. My foil supplies are low. I obviously need to do an inventory of what we need and what we've got. And silver foil is obviously on the low side. I've got champagne, I've got copper. Let's just peel that out. Then I think I'm going to snip. So there. Because of course you don't have to use it as it comes out. So I think we'll have a piece coming down here and a piece coming up there like that. Really. What have we got that will sit inside that label? Do these sort of are going to stack up quite nicely. Let's just grab a little bit of, oh, I've got a smidge shimmery white there. I'll just do a piece of whisper white, I think. Let's cut this other label and then we'll find a greeting that's going to sit in there. So at the moment the only thing we've added to that with any extra shimmery shine is our foil. Nice. Let's go back to our itty bitty greeting set. Maybe wanting something a bit bigger than that. Oh, what about Season's Greetings? Perfect. So that's another set that's carrying over. There's still scenes, so you'll still be able to make your snow globes, which is all good news. Aha. So never mind Christmas in July. I was talking with one of my team members about Christmas in July classes the other day. Never mind Christmas in July. We're doing Christmas in May. The birds and the bees, absolutely. You get it all here. Right, I think we will go with the white and silver ribbon for that one. So I'm going to just put a bit of glue on this. No, I'm not. Think again. Think again. Stop and think again. Let's do this. Let's glue this down. We're very nearly at the end of this particular glue. I keep giving it a bit of a shake. Then let's wrap some of this round. And we'll put some dimensionals on the back of that. Just to raise it up going over that ribbon. Bring it this way slightly because I'm going to slip our ribbon under there. Give that a bit of a knot. Then we've got our little bits here. We bring back in our silicone mat. I think we'll come in this way and this way. So we've got a bit of a shine of foil on our ribbon. We've got a bit of shine on our foil. And I think again we're just going to add in a few little diamantes just to add in a bit more glitz and glamour. Now there's a couple of cards, but then we have got this left and we can't just leave that standing there, can we? So I'm going to take, let's go, I'll make up a little card, a little 4-inch. So this is a square of balmy blue that is 9 centimeters square. I'm going to bring in a stencil. And somewhere I should have a palette knife, and for this one I'm going to bring in the shimmery white embossing powder. So here's another way of bringing in some shimmer. So this is definitely carrying over. We've got our embossing paste with lots of shimmer and shine. Oh, I'm not going to get on very well with that because that is hardening up. What I might have to do is I'll add some water in there when we've finished, and that will help just soften that up a little bit and keep it going a bit longer. So I'm going to just spread this over the top. Now do the whole piece of card. Not necessary to do the whole piece of card. I could have just done a section of it. But let's scrape that off. So we've spread it on, scraped off the excess. And there we have a beautiful piece. Let me just go and throw this towards some water. You always want to put your stencils and things straight into water. I'll give that a bit of a scrape in a minute, not quite so urgent. Now, have I got a spritzer here with just some water in? And if not, why not? Look, I can't show you. Oh yes, I have. Got a spritzer, it's got some water. So what I'm going to do with this, so it is, as I say, starting to get a bit stiff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to really liberally spray it with water. I'm going to put that lid on and I'm going to come back to it in a little while. And hopefully where it's not got too dry, where it is just starting to thicken up a little bit, that will give that a bit of a new lease of life. So we now have our very shimmery. So we've got the normal embossing paste and then we've got the shimmery embossing paste. So that's very sort of glittery. And we will add in our blue snowflakes and a little greeting, and that will give us, might go for a bit of, how big is that? Let's give that a night of navy background. May even give it a night of navy label. I'm going to cut it out the middle of there because that's going to go onto our card base. So matte. What I really want on that is the, oh no, that's Seaside Spray though. We could have done it with Seaside Spray and used the Seaside Spray shimmery ribbon, but I haven't got any of that. But what I do have is a balmy blue Stampin' Blend. Which means we can make our ribbon any colour we like. There we are. You're getting the general gist. This has dried really quickly because it's starting to dry out anyway. It doesn't take long. But that's dry now. It would probably normally, if it was a new jar, take a little bit longer than that, but because it started to dry out anyway, it's dried really quickly. So there we are. That's a general idea. Just wants a little bit of a greeting on it now, possibly, or we could just put Happy Christmas inside. But yeah, welcome to Christmas in May. We've just had a bit of a play. We've added in, had a bit of an explore, started to explore how we are going to add shimmer and sparkle to our projects when we don't have glitter. Completely lost a card. Here it is. So we've got some shimmer paint that we've spritzed, the foils, embossing paste. Of course, we've got wink of Stella we could add in. So I could go over that the little snowflakes just there with our wink of Stella. That would look quite pretty to give that a shimmer. Ooh, yes. Ooh, yes. So when you receive your catalogues, which I'm sure if you haven't already, you will be doing very soon, and you're looking through it and thinking, oh, but there's no glitter. What am I going to do? It's just some of the ideas of what we're going to do. And as I say, there may well be other projects coming in the autumn-winter catalogue ready for Christmas. So I will stick that one together before I take the photo and put it on a card base. But that's beautifully sparkly now with that wink of Stella on that die cut, and we used that die cut to be the stencil on the back of this one. And this one we've added in lots of shimmer paint, spritzed on, as well as some colour spritzed on. So thank you for joining me for Christmas this morning. I'm now absolutely cooking. It doesn't feel at all Christmassy here. It may be how other people experience Christmas, but very definitely not how we experience Christmas. So thank you for joining me, and I'll be back tomorrow. And I'm sure we won't still be in Christmas. I'll have moved on to another period of the year, I'm sure, by tomorrow. But thank you for joining me, and I will see you all tomorrow.